questions?
Why do we have like this type of pad? I've seen in like lily pads they have like a different type of pad.
I think that's a group.
That is not actually uniform.
That's a group.
So it's like, yeah, so the group would have decided to have their own special group hats. I think we're looking into doing that for Rovers next year. But yeah, for Venturers, I'll tell you about the highlights. I'll tell you this. Cycling, that was the one big thing for Venturers I did. That was a pretty crazy story, but I ended up running a bike ride from Rose Bay all the way down to Little Bay, passing, I believe, 8 different scaffolds along the way. And that was the big plan for me. Being able to plan out that journey, organise different people to help me out, getting support, learning how to do different manoeuvres on the road, different hand signals, different gear changes. That was really, that was a good challenge for me, and I ended up with Visible Dice, stage 4 at the end of that, which was great. And it also contributed to my masters. Then yeah.
Oh, what about your volunteering?
Yeah, I was
Little
Bay.
Bay.
Little Bay. So throughout my.
That's why you had to do the bike ride.
Yeah, that was
to get there.
Yeah, I actually did bike ride to Little Bay, and I ended up getting a flat tire on the way to a meeting at Little Bay, and so I ended up doing it as a meeting where I would teach the scouts at Little Bay how to change a tire, even though they didn't really listen.
And what about your first aid at Little Bay?
Now that's a fun story to tell you. Have you guys heard of Sit Down Stand Up? Sure you would have.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was teaching the Little Bay Scouts about that one because they, for some reason, haven't heard of it. I mean, how could they? I mean,
Depends on the
crime.
leader. Depends on what the leader knows.
Yeah. And so I was teaching them how to play it, and I was doing a round with them, and it ended up that I stood on the ball while the game was in session, and I twisted my ankle, and it turned out to be, instead of me doing the teaching, I was being used as a real life victim.
Patient. It's called patient. You may have felt like a victim.
And so I became the lesson. I wasn't the
I
teacher.
think he was correct.
So yeah, I was lying on the ground and I was in pain, and I was one of the older scouts, and he was teaching the rest of the group how to treat first aid. Yep.
When you cycled down from Rose Bay to Little Bay,
Yeah.
how did you get back if you had a flat tire?
Those are 2 different activities.
He walked.
Yeah.
Sprained ankle.
So I've got it was a very crazy journey. Yeah. And I had to scout out the route as well beforehand just to make sure it wasn't dangerous, which it was, but I did it anyway because, why not? It's pretty fun to do the bike riding.
Did you do that as a group? Sorry.
It would have been, but kept being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and eventually just did it with Dad and the scout leader, Ivor. He's at Woolly Pads. Yeah. Yes, another question.
After the wood, it says to achieve your Queen Scout, you need like a certain amount of progression of like the 3 main ones. How did you get them all so fast?
Okay, that's a good question. So part of it was that I had my ASN, so I was able to use some of that to help me get along. But other parts of it, I actually had to go back and relearn. So for the one that I would have had the most fun with, which is pioneering, which is bushcraft pioneering. We ended up spending a whole weekend at Hall, and Adam can help me out again because he was helping me with it.
You made stuff out of wood poles and
We
ropes.
made a huge tower. We made a tower out of poles that reached all the way to the ceiling, and we did it all with just ropes and poles.
That's like that.
Yeah, all up the rafters. We were above the rafters actually, well above the rafters.
And what
Did you
about
cut one of the rafters?
And then we also did a flagpole. We did a monkey bridge. We were able to learn how to build so many different things with ropes and poles, and I hope to continue on. It's all about progression. You never stop learning in Scouts. You always and even if you don't decide to do bad, you can still learn so much.
I found a treat.